So when I saw this like dude with a heavy Russian accent talking about some final glorious evolution involving the forcible fusion of all minds into a perfect state of equality, of course I thought of Vladimir Lenin. Like, I don't understand how no one else has mentioned this. I mean, I see the Jesus parallels drawn all the time to Viktor after he becomes like, you know, some kind of omniscient, arcane, divine figure. But where are the Vladimir Lenin, first Russian communist dictator parallels? I mean, I guess I have to start this conversation. A little political crash course is necessary to illustrate my point. Please don't leave yet. Wait, just hear me out. It'll be fun. Okay. So, for anyone who might not know, on a very basic level, communism is a way of organizing the economy in which labor owns the means of production. What this means is, like, basically if people who worked at a factory actually owned the factory together and so had more control over their own working conditions and wages. The intention, according to Marx and Engels, is a more equal society. The alternative most of us currently live in is that usually the factory is owned privately by some dude or group of dudes, and that dude pays laborers a wage to work his factory. The owner dude keeps the extra profits and monies if his factory is competitive, and the workers live paycheck to paycheck. So yeah, it's a less equal society. Capitalism, yay. So basically, if we look at the political compass, communism is on the left side. To be clear, on the political compass, the left is about a collaborative economy, while the right is about a competitive economy. Okay. Leninism. Now here's the tea, here's the juice. Okay, here's what you write mom home about. Leninism is basically the name for how this one Russian dude called Vladimir Lenin thought one should go about bringing about, you know, the communism. He was like, okay, prepare for my Russian accent. Like, seriously, prepare yourself. He's like, guys, hear me out. Great idea. To reach this state of equality and harmony, why don't we just, like, force it to happen? And I guess a bunch of dudes were like, yeah, totally great idea, because then he, like, formed a party and did, like, really terrible things, like form a socialist dictatorship, forcibly abolish all private ownership, and brutally call all attempts at rebellion. So technically, Leninism, as it played out, was a form of socialism in which the economy is owned by the state, not the workers. So it wasn't quite communism. Marx conceived socialism as like a step into communism. So Leninism is on the left, but it's high up on the left. It is authoritarian. So on this axis, up means authoritarian. Think like king, dictator, one-party rule. Down means like, you know, fuck authority. No one's in charge. Freedom, anarchy. Okay, so at this point, you're like, girl, what does this have to do with Viktor? Listen, okay, I'm saying if Leninism is here, God Viktor is here. Like, he was low-key worse. He was worse. He wanted to achieve perfect collaboration. He wanted to achieve a literal insane hive mind fusion situation where all people are stripped of identity and bind with the arcane. And he was gonna do it literally just by forcing everyone through what was basically a military coup because he thought it was a good idea. Do you see it? Do you see the parallels now? And then on top of everything, he kept saying stuff like glorious ovulation or whatever. I mean, the joke writes itself.